Hi, dear students, how are you today? And welcome to your grammar lesson. Today we are going to have a look at your grammar reference on the Ready for Kai book. We are going to have a look at Unit 4, precisely the part that deals with infinitives and ing. It's okay if you have your papers, so you can follow the lesson. And also, if you have any questions, you can write to me or you can leave your comments below, so I'll answer them as soon as possible and everybody can read them. So okay, let's get it started. When to use infinitive or ing when you are combining different verbs or different expressions with verbs and so on. It's a bit confusing because sometimes there are no rules, so you have to know which verbs to use and in which way. So we are going to start with infinitive. When to use infinitive? That's A. So first of all, we use infinitive to express purpose. So, for example, what is the purpose of something? I went to the supermarket to buy eggs, right? So, ¿para qué fuiste al super? Para comprar huevos. So, remember, you have to use infinitive because some people get confused and they say, I went to the supermarket for buying eggs. No, to buy eggs. I go to the gym to keep fit, and so on. Right, next we use the infinitive after some adjectives. For example, it's easy to do something, or it's difficult to do something else, and so on. After the verb to be, to give orders. The example is, you are to stay here until you get back. The president is to visit Poland next month. So for orders and arrangements, right? Then after would like, would hate, would love, and so on. And watch out here, because I know that when you are expressing preferences in general, use ing and you say something like, oh, I love dancing, or I hate ironing, or whatever. But this is not general, yeah? This is I would like to do something, I would love to do something, me gustaría. So if you have would, you have to use infinitive. Then you have certain verbs, and here you have the list. Verbs like agree, appear, arrange, ask, attend, and so on. So I'm just going to give you 2 or 3 examples with some of these verbs. For example, my friend and me agreed to go to have dinner. Pues mi amigo y yo nos pusimos de acuerdo para ir a cenar. Or, for example, I hope to win the lottery. Espero ganar la lotería. Or, that cathedral seems to be Gothic. Esa catedral parece ser gótica. So that's it. Then you have some expressions like, for example, if you need any help, don't hesitate to contact me. No duden en contactarme. Then you have other verbs that are followed by infinitive with to, but you need an object. For example, advise, allow, ask, challenge, enable, and so on. So if you need an object, that means that before infinitive, you have to place an object, which means that the right construction is advise someone to do something. He advised me to go to the doctor, right? Or, for example, encourage someone to do something, animar a alguien a que haga algo. So my mother encouraged me to do my exams in December. Mi madre me animó a hacer los exámenes en diciembre. Or, for example, like recommend someone to do something. So I wanted to lose weight and a friend recommended me to skip dinner, for example. you have to know, and this is the bad news, that some verbs have more than one pattern. So, first of all, what is a pattern? A pattern is the different structures. So, for example, one of these verbs is recommend. Recommend can have two patterns. First, recommend someone to do something, which is with to. Like, my doctor recommended me to stop having sugar. But if it's a recommendation in general, and you don't use an object, then you use ing. So, doctors recommend eating lots of fruit, right? So you have to take that into account. Verbs that can be used in different ways because they have different patterns. So you have these two patterns with recommend and advise, right? Recommend someone to do something, recommend doing something. You can also use advise someone to do something or advise doing something if you are not using an object. Then you can use infinitive with to after the following nouns: ability, attempt, capacity, chance, decision. So let's make some examples. I don't have the ability to speak many languages. I only speak English and Spanish. For example, intention. I have the intention to buy a new car. Or refusal. His refusal to wash the dishes came as no surprise. So those are the different cases to use infinitive with to. Now let's move on to be, which is the bare infinitive. The bare infinitive, el infinitivo desnudo, infinitive without to. First, as you obviously know, after modals. I can go, you should know, we might go, without to, right? And then you have these verbs. Had better. So had better, means something like sería mejor que, alright, so when I say you have better do something, es como sería mejor que tú hicieras algo. Yeah, so if it's raining, I can tell my friend, you have better take an umbrella because it's raining, but it's without to. Then you have help. Help me do something. In this, on this occasion, sometimes help is used with to also. So, but it's very correct and nice. Oh God, my hair. It's very correct and nice. Use it without to. Help me do something. Then let someone do. Permitirle a alguien hacer algo. So my parents didn't let me watch horror movies when I was a child. Didn't let me watch. You see, not to watch. Didn't let me watch. And would rather and would sooner. So that's like yo preferiría. So I would rather do something. Preferiría hacer algo. You can use also the contraction I'd rather do something. So tonight I'd rather stay at home because I'm very tired. Así que esta noche preferiría quedarme en casa porque estoy muy cansada. I'd sooner is exactly the same. But remember, infinitive without to. After that, we move on to the use of ing in C. So, when do we use the ing? First, as the subject, object, or complement of a clause or sentence. For example, playing golf helps me relax, but I find watching it on television rather boring. So, playing in this sentence is the subject, and also watching is the object. So just make sure that you use it correctly, because if you want to say something like leer es muy bueno para la mente, you don't say to read is very good for the mind. You have to say reading is very good for the mind. Okay? Then after prepositions, this is a golden rule. You know that after a preposition, an infinitive becomes ing. So I am thinking about doing. I look forward to hearing from you, because that too is preposition. Don't get confused, right? After the following expressions: have difficulty or having problems doing something. I have difficulty remembering my task without an agenda. And don't get confused, because you can use a very similar expressions with infinitive, but it's different, because I find it difficult to do something, or find difficulty doing something. So don't get confused with this. Then we have there is no point, or there is little point. So this is like to say no tiene sentido hacer algo, no. Yeah. So for example, you say, well, there is no point in watering the plants because it's raining. The plants are already wet. Fine. It's not good, or it's not used doing something. O sea, no es bueno, no es útil hacer algo. So it's not good having too much food for dinner when you're going to bed. Yeah. And it's not worth doing something, or it is worth doing something, and that's merece la pena o no merece la pena hacer algo. So it's not worth like buying a second-hand computer nowadays. Then after the following verbs, admit, adore, advise, anticipate, and so on, you have that list. So I'm just going to make some examples for you. For example, admit doing something is admitir haber hecho algo. So I could say, well, the serial killer admitted like killing like 200 people. Yeah. Or appreciate. Yeah. I appreciate staying with my family when I have free time. Or for example, can't help doing something. This can't help doing something is no puedo evitar hacer algo. So I can't help laughing when somebody falls in the street. I know I'm bad, but I can't help it. Okay. Deny doing something, negar haber hecho algo. The child denied eating the chocolate. And you have many, like keep, mind or don't mind is me importa o no me importa. I don't mind cleaning the toilet. Or feel like also means apetecer. I don't feel like dancing. No me apetece bailar. Put off is a phrasal verb, so put off means postpone. I don't want to put off doing the shopping, right? And finally, you have suggest. Yeah, suggest doing something. But I gotta tell you that suggest is a very special verb. So when you use suggest with an object, you have to use a different structure, which is suggest that someone should do something. But without an object, it's just suggest doing. Then after the following verse plus the preposition to. So here you have to be careful, because you might get confused and think that to is to for the infinitive, but no, it's to for preposition. So it's adapt or adjust to. When I lived in England, I adapted to having tea in the morning because coffee was crap. Admit to, confess to, get round to doing something. This means something like ponerse manos a la obra, hacer algo, no? So imagine that, the house is really, really dirty, and I say, oh, come on, let's get round to cleaning right now, yeah? Or get used to doing something is acostumbrarse a hacer algo. So I have to get used to doing exercise in the morning. Look forward to doing something es tener ganas de que llegue algo, o esperar que llegue algo. So I'm really looking forward to traveling to Romania next year. An object to doing something is estar en contra de. So, I object to using plastic so much. This is also very important, and you say, okay, but what if I want to use an object in the middle of those two with questions? Okay, you cannot say, for example, I couldn't imagine he eating something like this. You have to use that new subject in the form of an object pronoun or a possessive adjective. For example, I couldn't imagine him eating something like this, or I couldn't imagine he's eating something like this. Or we appreciate your coming to tell us so quickly, but you cannot use a subject pronoun with this structure. I mean, you cannot use I, he, we, and so on. You have to use object pronouns like he, me, us, or possessive adjectives like my, our, and so on. Now we go for point D, and these are the verbs that can be followed either by infinitive or ing. They are begin, can't bear, no puede soportar, continue, hey, intend, like, love, prefer, and start. So the meaning is basically the same, but if there is a slight difference is that ing is more for general situations and infinitive more for particular situations. I'll give you an example with this. For example, I hate ironing, odio planchar. I really hate ironing, but I like to iron on Saturday mornings because I have more time, I am more relaxed, and so on. So that's the difference, okay? I like to iron on a particular occasion on Saturday mornings, but generally speaking, I hate ironing. I do. Finally, the point E is about verbs that can be followed by ing and infinitive, but depending on the use, they have different meanings. And those are forget, mean, regrets, remember, stop, and try. Okay, so the difference. Forget. Forget to do something es olvidarse de hacer algo. Don't forget to buy bread. Don't forget to lock the door, right? Forget doing something es olvidarse de haber hecho algo en el pasado. Imagine that somebody tells you, oh, you have already done your homework, and you say, oh, I forgot doing it. O sea, me olvidé que lo había hecho, okay? Remember is the same. Remember to do something is acuérdate de hacer algo. Something you haven't done. But remember doing something is acordarse de haber hecho algo en el pasado. So, for example, I can say, well, remember to call your sister. It's very important. But you can say, well, I can't remember going to the beach with my family when I was a child. I had a good time. It's in my memory, you know, I can't recall it. I remember doing it in the past. Fine. Then we have regret. Regret, doing something es arrepentirse de haber hecho algo in the past. So you can say something like, well, I regret not studying more when I was younger. And regret to do something is a formal formula, like we regret to inform you, lamentamos comunicarle que blah blah, okay, right? So that's the difference. Then we have stop. Okay, stop doing something is you are doing an activity and you stop. Stop smoking, deja de fumar. Stop shouting, deja de gritar. Stop to do something is you are doing an activity, you stop that activity to do another one. So I imagine that you are traveling to Catalonia and you say, okay, we stopped in Zaragoza to have lunch. We stopped to have lunch, okay? Finally, we have a try, right? So try plus infinitive means attempt to do something. Okay, I want to try to fix my computer. Voy a intentar arreglar mi ordenador. Maybe I can do it or not. Try doing something is not about attempt. It's about prueba hacer esto a ver qué pasa. Okay? So imagine you say, I have a terrible headache, right? And I say, okay, just try taking aspirin. Prueba tomar una aspirina, okay? And then we have mean plus ing means involve, o sea, implica. For example, getting a degree means studying a lot. Conseguir un grado implica estudiar mucho. And mean to do something is like intend to do. Oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. No tenía intención de ofenderte. Right? So that is the difference. And well, that's all for today. Just remember to leave your comments and just have a happy day, people. See you. Bye.